Hello and welcome back to Real Wasted. I'm Pat.
I'm Jackie.
I'm Sean.
Apologies if our voices crack a little bit during this. We just got back from seeing Steel Panther. We figured that we would go for something all-American, so what's more Murican than Team America World Police?
America, fuck yeah! Coming again to save the motherfucking day, yeah, America!
I think we have a set list of really good drinking games for this one, especially, again, these are obvious ones, but they are ones that just had to be done.
Yes.
Okay. Were there supposed to be words attached to that, or just musical notes?
It's music. For the musicals.
Anytime there is a musical number, you take a drink.
Everyone has Ace! Ace!
Couldn't just write musical numbers, or...
Steel Panther.
I guess that's the excuse for everything tonight.
Number 2, Ain't No Strings on Me. Every time it is so blatantly clear that these are puppets.
Number 3, Murica. We are watching Team America. This one's pretty self-explanatory. Anytime there's some blatant patriotism, take a drink.
Number 4, Durka Durka Durka, Muhammad Jihad. The terrorists have their own very special language in this that is borderline racist. Anytime the terrorists talk to each other, or anything like the terrorists talking, like I believe there is a certain street in here called
Bakalakadaka Street!
Take a drink for that.
Durka Allah, Muhammad Jihad.
And finally, the 5th drinking game would be cameos, or Word Up. There are a ton of quote-unquote cameos in this movie, especially when they are talking about the Film Actors Guild, so every time you see a cameo, you drink.
Alright, I think we're ready to start this.
I think so.
Alright, everybody, get your red, white, and blue shirts on. It's time to do this for America. Cheers.
Cheers.
I love this movie.
It doesn't get old. This movie does not get old, no matter how many times I've seen it.
I've only seen it a couple of times all the way through. Every time I have, though, I do notice like one or two little things that I've missed. It's kind of like one of those movies where you just keep... It has replay value. You don't expect a movie like this to have good replay value, but it does.
I've never seen acting that good.
I don't remember much about when the movie was first coming out, but I do remember that like a lot of the talk was just, hey, the South Park guys are making a puppet movie. But what I didn't know then, which I know now, is that the guys who made South Park have not made a bad movie yet.
This movie came out during a very interesting time, where the WMDs, we didn't know if anybody had them, if they didn't have them. Obviously, the world was still shaken by the events of 9/11. So this was an interesting movie because it targeted a very touchy subject, but it did it in a way that was, as bizarre as this sounds, sort of sensitive. You know, you could laugh at it.
Inevitable.
One more time?
Inevitable!
All the good satires and everything like that are genuinely very funny. And this is even out of time.
As far as content, I think it's a lot worse than the interview was. And it came at a more sensitive time, but nobody's panties were in a bunch the way that they were when the interview came out.
The interview is not nearly as offensive as this movie is, yet everybody made a big deal over it.
I think actually that might not be the point of why this movie didn't actually get as much attention. I think the reason why is because everybody watched everything that Seth Rogen and James Franco did. The South Park guys making a movie is a very, very niche market. I don't think anybody expected a ton of people to watch this movie. And it kind of backfired on them.
This movie picked fun of both sides. The ultra-conservative, uber-American end, where we're just going to be aggressive without thinking, which, again, is not necessarily true, but they're liberals and it's Hollywood, so that's how they played it. And then the, you know what, you did screw with us and we are going to attack you and we are going to punch you in the face. You gave us a black eye, so we're going to give you a black eye. This movie did kind of play up on that very well, whereas the interview was really just political satire in favor of the United States.
It does give you the very graphic caricatures of anyone who is not American. For the Panama Canal, they said 2,000 miles below the real America. Like, that's fantastic. But the thing that got me the most is just, like, when everybody sees the damage and they're just like, what the hell did these people do? Everywhere Team America goes.
As far as drinking games went, 62 times we drank, mostly on Murica and Durka Durka, which I think you kind of expected going into the movie.
Oh, shit.
One of the ones that we were looking forward to the most was the puppetry fails. And all of them were intentional. They could have hidden the wires. They could have made the puppets a little bit more realistic if they wanted to, but you could tell it was all done intentionally. And it's better for it.
Yeah.
I think it definitely added something to it.
Yeah.
Especially in the action sequences, in the sex scenes. It just made it that much more satirical. It's a really well done movie. Like, if you take that out of it, and it's not something that you should be really looking to pick apart because the whole thing is a satire, but the set design is actually really impressive.
They did have really elaborate sets everywhere they put the puppets in. The France setting looked like a photo of France.
Out of the gate, too, the Times Square was really impressive with the taxis.
They wanted to make a really good movie. Like, they really wanted it to be very well done. And it was. And it hit on all cylinders.
This is more along the lines of, like, we made this movie for us.
Right.
And if you don't laugh at it, we're still laughing at it. So you go right ahead and hate it.
Fuck yeah!
All in all, I would say that we would give this 4 beers.
I would say less than a lot of the movies that we've seen before because a lot of the times it did space it out where there wasn't times where you would drink.
Yeah,
it was not a consistently enjoyable drinking game for the entire time. There were times of it where there were big lulls in it, where you would just wait for more stuff to happen.
Yeah, and then it would just be drink.
Yeah, it made up for it. It
Especially
was a
when
lull, and then it was just glug, glug, glug.
When the cameos kicked in, that's when it really did kind of speed up a bit, especially because they just kind of went right one after the other.
But I do see what you're saying, because there were 15-minute clips where we didn't drink.
Yeah.
We haven't had a movie like that.
I would say this is the first 3.5er that we've done.
All right, I'm not going to argue much with that.
I'd agree with that.
I understand where you're coming from.
But
it's still a great movie.
Still a good movie to watch. Like, I will recommend this movie to people, even people who hate South Park. I know a lot of friends who hate South Park who love this movie. Hopefully you agree with us. If you'd like us to watch something specifically, please let us know. #RealWasted. And until next time, I'm Pat.
I'm Jackie.
I'm Sean.
And we'll see you next time on Real Wasted.
Cheers.